my heartiest congratulations and welcome to all respectable viewers of this video. We have been able to assemble again after a long duration of time. We shall try to discuss some aspect about mystic clue behind creation, which is squarely attributed to procreation. In this regard, Param Premamoy Sri Thakur Anukul Chandra gave most importance to necessity of eugenics, because eugenics is the sole clue for survival of the human society. Otherwise, we may have to face annihilation in future. In this regard, Sri Thakur said that every rules and regulations we have to follow in our life, in our personal life, in our social life, in our conjugal life, has a inevitable link with law of creation. So, in a very short form, we shall mention some important aspect about the creation of the universe. It is believed in material science that the creation of universe occurred all on a sudden from an empty space about 13.8 billion years now, through Big Bang, which is practically an unimaginable inflationary explosion, and the total universe is still in the mode of expansion. In such a way, the universe is supposed to consist of 100 to 200 billion galaxies, of which ours is the Milky Way or Akashganga. The Earth we live in, the planet Earth we live in, is a tiny member of the solar system in Milky Way, and the Earth is expected to sustain 5 billion years more. The galaxy Milky Way is comprising thousands and crores of planets, satellites, stars and other celestial objects. Some important questions still remain unanswered in the arena of material science despite tremendous advancement. One, what was the primordial condition prior to onset of the creation? Is the creation is an accident or planned one? How and why the universe came into existence? Concept of God or creator in reality, a logical, crystal clear and comprehensive verse in English was delivered by Sri Sri Thakur Anukul Chandra in the years of 1930s in his books, namely The Message, Volume 1. The booming commotion of existence that rolls in the bosom of the beyond evolves into a thrilling rhyme and upheaves into a shooting becoming of the being with echoes, with an embodiment of energy that is logos, the word, the beginning. Surprisingly, such type of realization or superhuman feelings was expressed spontaneously by Sri Sri Thakur Anukul Chandra without any laboratory experiment, without any scientific research or without any underground explosion of particles, simply on repeated request by one of his eminent disciples, Sri Krishna Prasanna Bhattacharya, an renowned scholar in science and ex-assistant of Professor C.V. Raman, Nobel laureate. In this regard, we can explain the primordial existential condition prevailing in the form of Bose-Einstein condensate condition, which was assumed by Professor Sri Satyendranath Bose and endorsed by Albert Einstein. The condition is supposed wherein every particle in the universe is assumed to be in standstill condition. Although the condition is an absurd because the universe thoroughly filled in with energy particles are always in moving condition. But in spirituality, the condition resembles exactly to the prevailing condition prior to creation, or we can say the primordial existential condition resembles Bose-Einstein condensate condition in the world of spirituality, but not in the material world. Sri Sri Thakur said, spirit pokes matter. In reality, the primordial existential condition was slept condition or sushupti of the universal consciousness or akhanda chaitanya chit. What is we can describe as chit, and the primordial existential condition was in practically was a standstill condition of the spirit, akhanda chaitanya or universal consciousness. This is the absolute condition vis-a-vis the relative world we experience every day, every moment of life and death, profit and loss, high and low, time and timelessness, space and spacelessness, etc., etc., in the world of relativity of temporal feature. The Supreme Soul or Akhanda Chaitanya prevailing in the primordial existential condition was bereft of enjoyment due to absence of duality. This was a condition of oneness which is believed in science to be singularity. The spirit or universal consciousness afterwards descended up to Soham Purush, the demarcation line of spiritual world and material world, in the form of expansion sounded as A, stagnation sounded as U, and contraction sounded as M. The total advancement was similar to crawling while crossing the line of demarcation. Soham Purusha, the sound Om was suddenly produced. In this context, we can also explain the Big Bang theory, which is believed in science to be the cause of onset of creation, while the spirit or Akhanda Chaitanya or universal consciousness crossed the demarcation line, the said demarcation line, Soham Purusha, a wheel tremendous turbulence began, producing this sound echoes Om. This type of wheel was in the form of peculiar form of spiral elliptical motion, which is responsible for conversion of spirit into matter. We know, as we know, milk is converted into butter when brought under spiral elliptical motion. Thus, the spiral elliptical motion at the beginning of creation at Soham Purusho, and the total scenario with vehement wheel turbulence and first ever sound Om of the universe is known as Big Bang. C.C. Thakur also said that advent of creation created time and space, and after 0.5 billion years of Big Bang, one electron and one proton conjoined to form first molecule of the universe. Material existence of the universe, hydrogen atom was created. So, Om is described, expounded as Shabda Brahma, because sound with embodiment of energy was concentrated to form material existence. Thus, the word out of logos was the beginning of creation of the universe. We shall be meeting again. This is end of my first part of the episode we have decided to discuss today, and the second part or the final part will be discussed next time. Thank you all. Jai Guru.